She shattered 3 marriages with her temper. He carried a curse from his mother's lies. When fire meets storm, will love survive or burn to ashes? Tasha moves through life like a hurricane, bold, unrelenting, and unapologetic. With a tongue as sharp as a blade, she has fought and clawed for everything she has, yet the ghosts of her past linger like smoke. 3 marriages, 3 heartbreaks, and 3 homes reduced to embers, each one ending in disaster, as if fire itself is woven into the fabric of her soul. People whisper behind her back, calling her cursed, reckless, a woman men cannot tame. But Tasha does not seek taming. She seeks a love that will not fear her flames. Tuku, on the other hand, is a man drowning in silent storms. Wealthy, respected, and burdened by a legacy he never asked for, he walks through life with measured steps, each one dictated by the suffocating grip of his mother, Mama Dora. She is more than just a matriarch. She is a force of nature. Manipulative, cunning, and obsessed with controlling his fate. Every woman he has ever loved has been driven away by Mama Doris's iron will and whispered lies. Tuku longs for peace, for a love untainted by his mother's meddling, but he fears that no woman will ever be strong enough to withstand the storm she brings. Fate intervenes at a lavish party, where Tasha and Tuku's paths collide like fire meeting thunder. Her gaze is fierce, daring him to look away. His stare is heavy, carrying the weight of a man on the edge. Their conversation is a battlefield, each word a challenge, each glance a warning. "I don't kneel for madness," Tasha says, her voice unwavering. Tuku exhales slowly, the truth bleeding from his lips like a confession. "My mother, she's not just a prayer warrior, she's the war." The moment stretches between them, thick with unspoken fears and undeniable attraction. But as their hearts waver, a shadow looms over them, a presence that neither of them can ignore. Mama Doris is watching, and she is already planning her next move. Will Tasha's fire consume Tuku's storm, or will they find a way to weather the tempest together? A mother's love turned poison, a bride who refuses to bow. Who will survive the battle for control? Tasha enters Tuku's home, stepping into a battlefield she had not fully prepared for. The house, grand and imposing, is thick with an air of control. Control. Mama Doris's presence woven into every inch of its foundation. The moment their eyes meet, the war begins. Mama Doris's expression is a mask of cold disapproval, her words dripping with veiled contempt. The first battle is fought in the kitchen. Tasha, eager to prove herself, prepares a meal, only to have Mama Doris hover, criticize, and ultimately toss her efforts aside. "A woman who cannot feed her home cannot keep it," she declares, watching for a reaction. Tasha only smiles, but inside, her patience wears thin. Day by day, the torment escalates. Mama Doris finds ways to insert herself into every moment, interrupting conversations with Tuku, claiming traditions that must be upheld, and whispering poison into his ear. She calls Tasha a Jezebel, a destroyer of homes, a woman unfit to be by her son's side. Tasha fights back, but the house is not hers, and the walls whisper of those who came before her. Flashbacks reveal the fates of Tuku's past wives: Amaka, who left in tears, broken by lies and manipulation, and Halima, whose infertility became a weapon Mama Doris wielded against her until she vanished into the night, never to return. Tasha refuses to be another casualty. One evening, as Mama Doris weaves her cruelty into dinner conversation, Tasha finally snaps. "Respect isn't one way, Mama." Her voice rings through the house, a declaration of war. Tuku tenses, torn between the two forces in his life. That night, the house trembles with a new darkness. Mama Doris, in a chilling act of deception, stages a bloody self-harm scene, her wails piercing the night as she points a trembling finger at Tasha. "She tried to kill me," she sobs, her eyes glistening with triumph. But Mama Doris underestimates the woman she is fighting. Tuku, suspicious and weary, reviews the hidden camera footage from the hallway. The truth unfolds before him, his mother, alone, orchestrating the scene. His hands clench into fists, his heart heavy with betrayal. As he turns to confront the woman who raised him, Mama Doris meets his gaze with a knowing smirk and hisses, "This house will never be yours." A slap heard across a train, a fall that changes everything. Secrets don't die, they explode. The tension between Tasha and Mama Doris reaches its peak as the trio boards a train to Tuku's village for their wedding introduction. The air inside the carriage is thick with hostility. Mama Doris seizing every opportunity to belittle Tasha. Each insult is a dagger, each taunt a calculated move to break her resolve. Tuku watches, torn between love and duty, but silence is a language he has spoken for too long. Then the unthinkable happens. As the train speeds through the countryside, Mama Doris delivers a final cruel remark, reaching for Tasha's face in a moment of unchecked rage. But Tasha is no victim. She dodges, and instinct takes over. She strikes back. The slap echoes through the train like a gunshot. The world slows as Mama Doris stumbles. Gasps fill the carriage as she teeters near the open door. Then, in a horrifying instant, she loses her balance and tumbles out of the moving train. Screams erupt. The train halts. The villagers murmur in hushed horror. Evil wore respect like a rapper. Mama Doris, the formidable matriarch, is no longer untouchable. She is found, barely alive, but broken beyond repair. Authorities arrive, and Tasha is dragged away in handcuffs. But justice has its own eyes. Security footage clears her of blame, revealing Mama Doris's aggression and the tragic accident that followed. While Tasha walks free, another truth unravels. Tuku, shaken and enraged, confronts the woman he once called mother. Weak but unrepentant, she reveals a secret that shatters his world. "You're not my biological son." The revelation lands like a death blow. Mama Doris had been infertile, consumed by jealousy over Tuku's real mother, her husband's first love, now long dead. Tuku's entire existence had been a lie, his loyalty manipulated into chains. His voice is steel as he kneels beside her hospital bed. "You've cursed this house enough." The screen fades, but the war is far from over. A wedding without blessings, a mother exiled. Can love finally bloom in the wreckage? Tasha is freed, her spirit unbroken. Tuku exiles Mama Doris to the village, cutting ties forever. In a quiet ceremony, he and Tasha marry. No fanfare, just hope. Back in the village, Mama Doris withers in isolation, her voice silenced by regret. The final scene shows Tasha and Tuku laughing in their sunlit home, a stark contrast to the stormy past. Text flashes, sometimes peace isn't given, it's taken. The screen fades as the camera pans to Mama Doris alone in her dark room, whispering to the walls, "I'm sorry." Did Tasha's fire redeem Tuku's tragedy? Like if you root for love that fights back. Comment your take. Was Mama Doris a villain or a victim? Subscribe for tales where courage meets destiny. Thank you for watching. This structure amplifies tension, deepens character arcs, and hooks viewers with moral dilemmas and explosive reveals. Each part escalates stakes while honoring the story's cultural richness.